I'm really interested in the backstory to this because I read a tweet you put up like a week or two ago, I think, where you told your backstory about in 2021 being a forklift driver and getting mandated out of your job. And serendipitously, here we are. You're running one of the most interesting Twitter feeds, I think, going around. So tell us how that came about.
Yeah, so we're gonna go back back to the dark days of COVID. And so I was a filmmaker. I've been an independent filmmaker, and you can't exactly pay the bills doing that, especially not in Australia. So I worked as a forklift driver and in warehouses to make a living. So I did that throughout the lockdowns in COVID. So in 2020, I was doing that, which was quite interesting. I was working in a medical warehouse. So we're literally sending out the hand sanitizers, and we had to wrap it in black wrapping so no one could see what it was because they were that afraid that it would get jacked and people would then sell it off. So interesting times. I got fired from one job because of the lockdowns. They just couldn't keep on employees. But otherwise, I worked pretty much throughout the lockdowns in Melbourne. It was strange times. I mean, the city was completely empty, so I just ride my bike straight clean through the city and go to work. But yeah, so I worked a few different jobs, and then 2021, I was working in a clothing warehouse. They did embroidery, uniforms, a whole bunch of stuff. And yeah, this leads up to October 2021, where the vaccine mandates, they slowly stage it out. So this is all in Melbourne. So they slowly kind of separate into industries, where it was the medical professionals, then it was the education, then it was the construction workers. We saw those huge CMFEU protests. And then not long after that, it was pretty much widespread. Everyone, pretty much every job. It's unbelievable now, even when you look down that list, to try and find a profession that it wasn't mandated under. It keeps going and going and going. And although, it seemed that it was safe for me to work as a forklift driver in a warehouse throughout COVID when it was kind of the most dangerous, when the vaccines came, they said that it was necessary for me to have one to keep my job. And, I pretty much decided, I decided I was young and healthy. So I decided that it wasn't a requirement. By this time, we knew pretty well the dangers of COVID and who was hit, hardest by it. And me in my age bracket with my health, I seemed perfectly fine. I wasn't scared of catching COVID, and so I thought it was unnecessary for me to have the COVID jab. But most of all, it was the principle for me where I felt that the government shouldn't be able to mandate what you put inside your body, and I thought that was kind of, if they crossed that line, there was no line left. So I decided, what, I'm going to stand on my principles, and let's see what happens. And yeah, I lost my job, and it's been a bit of an adventure ever since then.